I love that JJK created a magic system that allowed characters to play around with the rules. I don't think I've ever seen another battle magic system do it like this. That's a really clever idea and I admire the effort. But giving characters the ability to change the rules of their powers with trade-offs is something that requires a significant amount of discipline. Discipline that is not able to be managed by authors who write their story week by week. Limitations in Vows comes from Hunter x Hunter. I don't like Vows because of the two most notable ones, Kurapika and Gon. Kurapika gains a stronger chain jail for the price of not being able to use it against non-spiders, or he'll die. He gains a jail that is far stronger than the strongest spider, but the price is not tangible in any of his fights, partially because he mostly fights spiders, partially because chain jail isn't a necessity in battle. The pros outweigh the cons. Next is Gon's. He gained all of his future power for the price of never being able to use Nen again. This time, the reward isn't tangible. It was impossible to predict how powerful Gon would have gotten in the future, so the reward of all the power he'll ever have isn't tangible or conceivable until we see it. Had there been a future vision showing his future power ahead of time, this probably wouldn't have been a problem. Additionally, the price isn't tangible in the fight, it only manifests after the fight is over, making the ability unbalanced. From Vows and Limitations, JJK made Binding Vows. These are better executed than Hunter x Hunter and used more frequently, but it still has problems. Revealing one's hand is a great example. For the price of explaining your ability, you gain higher energy output. Both sides are even and tangible, although we don't really see the difference in output. Nanami sacrifices the amount of output he can use while on the clock to gain even more output than normal when he's off the clock. Balanced and tangible. Miwa can only use Simple Domain if her feet don't move. Balanced and tangible. Miwa is also the start of when Binding Vows start to lose me. Similar to Gon, she has a vow that sacrifices her ability to ever swing a katana again for an increase in power. What amount of power is equal to her not being able to swing a katana again? Can she swing a wakizashi or an odachi? Can she swing arming swords, European swords? This lack of clarity is the first problem, but her changing her powers on the fly is the second and more important problem. Sukuna furthered this problem. One vow gave him the reward of skipping the conditions for using a super move for the cost of having to use extra conditions for the move in the future. In the moment of reaping the rewards, the price was not tangible. Once again, he changed the rules on the fly. Then when Sukuna had two left hands missing, preventing him from using the sign to activate his domain, he made a vow. He changed the hand sign to a one-handed sign and moved his CT to a different part of the brain that was undamaged, which allowed him to use a max range, max output domain for 99 seconds. Where's the price? Where's the trade-off? Is it the 99 seconds? Because that's not much of a drawback. I don't really care about the Divine Flame vow because it wasn't made up on the spot, but just know that the reward is greater than the price again. Todo also had a Binding Vow that gained increased range for his CT as a price for the amount of times he could swap per strike of his Viper Slap. This sounds balanced, until you remember that one Viper Slap strike can result in 50 swaps per second. Yuji's most recent vow narrows the dismantle target to the soul to increase effectiveness. That's fine. In conclusion, I don't like vows because they're a slippery slope. Writing a story already usually leads to escalation down the line. Writing a story week by week increases the chances of escalation and unbalance due to the lower amount of planning time. Even the best power systems like triggers, chakra, and stands ended up creating unbalanced abilities down the line. Allowing characters to change their powers mid-battle with trade-offs is just playing with fire. The trade-offs can have pros that outweigh the cons, making them unbalanced. The trade-offs can have a price activated in the future, which makes the reward come with no cost in the present, which is unbalanced. Trade-offs before battle at least require setup, but trade-offs mid-battle don't, which makes all of these problems more dangerous. These writers have discipline. It's just hard to maintain that discipline when you don't have the proper amount of time to plan ahead.